too efficient, and there is a beauty in wasting a bit of time, and there's a beauty in seeing things, eating things that you don't like, in having like kind of a bad interaction almost. There's importance in all of this. It's perspective, obviously, but I think it sharpens your mind a bit to know what you don't like just as much as what you do like. Life outside my doors is not catered to me, which is why I'm hesitant about people who stay in their rooms or the houses all the time, because you're curating your life and you have this little nest, this little comfort zone, and that's great. And I spend a lot of time in mine too. But it's important to randomize your day a little bit and face things and feel ways about things. So I was like, I would have never seen this because I would have never searched for it. So I'm getting ready for leaving my house. I'm going to be drinking a big plastic water bottle because I don't like having the clunky water bottle. And whenever I'm forced to buy one of these plastic water bottles, I literally use it for months. And I make sure that I heat it up, cool it down so all the carcinogens release so I can get as many microplastics in my body as possible, because I'm not trying to have kids and I feel like that'll be effective. So yeah, anyways, I was thinking about the algorithm of life and how important it is to get out of your house. And even if you've lived somewhere for years and you think there's nothing to it, you have no public transport, you live in the middle of nowhere, start walking in a direction down a street you've never walked before. Look up as much as you look down. Take something in. Think anything. Force yourself to react to things. No matter what the reaction is, sharpen your mind or it will atrophy. I was one time at this, like, not a party, but I was at a bar with like some new people I had never met before. I was talking to this guy and I said, I hate AI. Like, I hate it. And he turns to me, he's like, are you serious? And he took it so personally, as if like he had come up with it, as if it was him, you know? And he was like, are you serious? I go, yeah, about as serious as I can be. And he's like, well, it can actually be really useful, and if you use it as a tool, it will only advance you, you know, it doesn't hinder you. It's a tool. And I go, okay, what do you use this tool for? He goes, writing emails. I go, I can write my own emails just fine. I don't need a tool to help me write emails. I learned that skill. I don't need a tool for a skill like that. And he goes, well, what about if you have typos or grammar mistakes? And I go, I don't, because I've written a lot of emails in my life, and you know, I never thought that would be something I brag about, but I was like, holy hell, no, I can just write an email. I don't know. I don't want to like die on that hill of all hills, but the hill makes itself very known in my day-to-day life, and I wish it wouldn't. But in introducing beauty back into my life, a randomization back into my life, today I will be exploring Coney Island. It was one of those places that when I first moved to New York, I had always heard of Coney Island. When I had read books, seen TV or movies, and it took place in New York, it was just like kind of this elusive, weird summer fairy tale land. And I haven't heard good things about it, like, to be clear. Everything I heard was like, it almost had like a Venice Beach vibe of like by the water but dingy and like still so city. But I feel like there's got to be something great there, because I looked up one time where Russian is spoken the most in all of New York. I believe it's Brighton Beach and Greenpoint, both in Brooklyn. And Coney Island's right like by Brighton Beach, so I'm thinking to myself, you know, we can get some good Russian food. Maybe sometime I'll explore Greenpoint as well, get some pierogies. I know it's a strong Polish neighborhood as well, and then kind of work from there. I think this is a great way for me to sort of sort where I want to go, is the majority language spoken. Obviously, most of New York just speaks Spanish, like everybody speaks Spanish, but these like little neighborhoods that have long stood in their language and their culture, like that's the New York I want to see. So that's what we're exploring. And if it's bad, that's okay. And if it's good, that's okay. You know, I used to always think when I was younger, I would get all of these panic attacks when I was in middle school. Like, honestly, I didn't know what was happening. I would just feel like I was dying all of a sudden. Like, my whole body would just hurt and I couldn't breathe, and I'd be like freaking out because I didn't know what was happening with my body, but then I'd kind of be freaking out in the first place, which is why my body was doing all that. And I remember something that really helped me like grapple with life so I could sort of overcome the panic that naturally fills me as a person. I started thinking to myself, you know, expect sort of nothing. You'll be correct or you'll be pleasantly surprised. I didn't come up with that, but honestly, like, it's kind of how I approach my day. I don't need wonderful, incredible miracles to happen to me every day to be happy. And I think that is a skill. I think happiness is a skill. I think exploring is a skill. I think being a good friend is a skill. Everything. So, you know, I think it'll be pretty fun. I'm also, you know, on the subject of doing things I don't really like. I'm reading this book and I'm gonna bring it and try to finish it so I can read something I actually like. It's called American Arcadia. And this is a newer book. I think it came out in 2023. It takes place in New York. I got it at Barnes & Noble because there was a 40% off all books sale. And honestly, I'm kind of zooming through it. Like, I literally got it 2 days ago. I'm like halfway through already. And I'm just not, it's good to have the perspective and be like, you know, this is writing I'm not particularly a fan of. So when I do go back to the literature that I am obsessed with, it hits a little bit differently. I think I'll also, I'm trying to think what I should pack for myself here. Okay, maybe I'll finish getting ready and then we'll head out. Just as important as being physically right and prepared for your day, exploring, I think it's important to be mentally right. I try not to keep my headphones in. I don't wear headphones in stores. I don't wear headphones in restaurants. It's important to be present with the music of life and be your sound. But I wear them on the train a lot, and sometimes I wear them when walking. But today I'm gonna try to do that less. See what happens, what's going on. I'll try to figure that out, like what's going on. And I think, what's another intention? I think I would like to get some new sunglasses because mine broke. I think when things are full, they break. So if they're like, think of like your jewelry, like when it's full of everything you've been experiencing and touching, breaks. So you can get out of there. Your hair, very emotional. When it's full, it breaks. That's why my hair's always broken at the end. I'm going through a lot. My intention is to see whether I love Coney Island and like what people do there. I love riding a train to the end, the stop that it says. Thing for me. I remember back in Boston, there was one that went to Wonderland. But I think I took it to the end, it was just like a parking garage. But honestly, a parking garage can be Wonderland with the right group. Or even just a good book, you know? There's such a sense of balance in the fact that all fair food makes you nauseous to limit you. I kind of felt like I had to get a drink, and I asked the guy who was making my drink if one person owns all the food stands that serve all the same stuff, and he said it's more like block by block, but they work in like different booths every day, which I think is kind of a vibe. I wonder like what they all get up to after work. I don't know. What's their tea? If I'm doing one thing today, it's getting on that damn Ferris wheel. So I was told there's 2 different companies that own all of the rides on Coney Island, and I just like walked past the first one. The day pass is like $50. I don't really like rides. I just want to go on the Ferris wheel. So I'm definitely gonna investigate that. I do feel like I should have some food, like some fair food. And I'm like, should I have it before my ride just to feel sick? Because it's part of the experience, you know? But I think I'll hold off till after. I'm not really hungry right now. I am noticing there's a large amount of like new build apartment buildings. And I'm wondering sort of what the housing situation is for the nearby area, and like how much housing value is increased by proximity to Coney Island. Honestly, it's a nice beach. Like, it's cute. I want to have a wedding here, honestly. And a divorce in Las Vegas. I feel like they're sisters. I was born there. So maybe I'll die here.
Среднем человек в день может врать до 200 тысяч раз. Я солгу сейчас, а потом ты уйдешь, а я останусь. Там не странно, сердце бестолковое, пусть там я буду бояться остаться один на один. Светлая комната цветных перьев, такое связанных нами перьев.
I actually feel like I'm horrified.
Пока лучи не целятся в нас, пока еще что-то чувствуем.
I'm leaving Coney Island for the Brighton Beach leg of my journey. I really liked Coney Island. It was, yeah, it's quite extensive. I obviously just went to like the amusement parks and the beach. I know it goes a lot further left than I was willing to explore. But honestly, like, I was hoping for a more like youthful demographic, like people to hang out with maybe, but it's okay. It's like a random Friday afternoon. I think like it was a little quieter almost, but in that way there were no lines really, and I got to just enjoy myself. And now I'm headed to a Russian grocery store to see what goods are there and procure them. So I definitely will be back. So some of my concerns and intentions have sort of been tabled because I'm like, I'm gonna be back. So I'm not worried. I fucking loved it. Like, I love these vibes. I don't know. I love a like county fair. I love a rodeo. I love things like this. Supermarket. Well, not like supermarket, just market, I guess. It was pretty super to me though, because I got this Havia Basi. I don't know how to say it, but I do know that it's corn jam or quince jam. So it's a product of Azerbaijan. This time I had quince that was actually good. Was when I was making jam out of it in France. So I'm excited to have this in my life again with a little bit less trauma because I'm not in France. And then I also got this yellowfin tuna, which is the best tuna that you can buy. And you should buy it when you see it because it's not in most grocery stores. My Swedish coworker shared it with me. Sharing my tinned fish on the sidewalk. Feels like aura farming. For such a food-centric day, I don't feel like I'm hungry enough. But I see like a little Georgian food restaurant